And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Election Coverage 2024 here on Big Oldies Radio 100.7 FM. Before we get to the numbers of the early voting and absentee, we received a little earlier this afternoon a message from Secretary of State Tre Hargett. He released this statement. We have been notified that some Tennessee voters have received a text message stating your 2024 presidential election ballot has officially been removed from consideration, said Secretary Hargett. This text message is nothing more than a scam, and our office has reported it to authorities for further investigation. So if you have received such a message, it is a scam. It is false. Now, let's get to these counts. We had 182 absentee voters. Early walk-in, 3,966. The count so far, 4,048 votes are in this early voting, and of the total registered voters in the county. Now, we do not have any of the precincts reporting yet because the polls just now have closed. Let's get to the results. This is what we have so far. For president and vice president, the count is 3,633. For Trump and Vance, that's almost 88%, 87.99%. Total for Harris-Walz, 468, 11.33%. For the United States Senate, again with those same numbers, we have a total 3,484 votes, or 87.19% for Marsha Blackburn, 11.19% for Gloria Johnson, and others trailing greatly. For the U.S. House of Representatives, it's incumbent Mark Green with 86.44%, 3,303 votes. Megan Barry with a little over 12%, or 460 votes. Now, these are just Wayne County so far. 3,222 votes for Paige Wally in Tennessee Senate District 26. He is unopposed. There were a couple of write-ins, but he got 99.44% of the vote. For the Tennessee House of Representatives District 71 so far, and this is, again, just Wayne County, Kip Capley, 3,156 votes, 88.73%. And Tim Coy, 11.5%, 05%, 393 votes. Now for City Commissioner, City of Clifton, we have Dwight Gator Thompson II with 44.68% of the vote. Mark Ray Staggs at 30.21%, 71 votes. Thompson had 105. And Eva Ruth Warren with 58 votes, or 24.68%. City Commissioner, City of Collinwood, James Glenn Brown, 40.74%, 121 votes. Debbie Pigg, 87 and 29.29%. The write-ins are 25.59%, but we don't have the name beside it as yet. The Wayne County consumption on the premises referendum, for 56.35%, or 2209 the actual vote, 1711 or 43% against that legal sale. Those are the votes that we have so far. Once again, this is only the early voting and absentee ballots. The rest of the county, 14 precincts yet to report. We'll keep you up to date on all the latest election results. We have been told it was a heavy voter turnout today in the county, so we could expect this to possibly be a long evening. And in looking at the Associated Press, who we follow pretty regularly, the early results for President of the United States across the entire nation. Right now, it's Donald Trump with 95 electoral votes, 11,469,569, or 53.6%. Kamala Harris with 35 electoral votes, 9,744,263, or 45.4%. The states have been declared for Donald Trump: Oklahoma, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Indiana, Alabama, and Florida, and South Carolina. Those for Harris: Vermont, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and Maryland. Several states are leaning both directions. We're not counting those at this time. Right now in the electoral column, it's Trump 95, Harris 35. Donald Trump has, in the popular vote, 53.6% of the vote. We'll be back with more reports throughout the evening as they come in, as the precincts report in later on this evening. Once all 14 precincts have been accounted for here at the Election Commission office, then we will move our activity back over to the studios for state and federal results. Now, by the way, you can also watch the election returns on YouTube at Big Oldies Radio 100.7 Waynesboro TN, and that will get you the actual physical numbers if you would like to see those election numbers. But once again, in Wayne County, as expected, Donald Trump 87.99%, Harris with 11.33%. Marsha Blackburn winning big, Mark Green winning big, Paige Wally unopposed, Kip Capley winning big. And in the city races, city commissioner in Clifton, Dwight Gator Thompson, 44.68%, 105 votes. Mark Ray Staggs, 71 votes. And Eva Ruth Warren, 58 votes, or 24.68%. In the city commissioner's race in Collinwood, you have James Glenn Brown with 40.74%, 121 votes. 87 votes for Debbie Pigg, or 29.29%. And a little later on, we will find out about the write-in votes as to who has the write-in votes. I know that there are 3 running for that particular third position. And once again, as of this time, for legal sale, 2,209, 56.35%. 1,711, or 43.65%, against the legal sale. That's the latest that we have at this time. We will be back shortly with further results. You're listening to election coverage on Big Oldies Radio, 100.7 FM. You're clear. Thank you, buddy.
This pipeline thing is the biggest issue in Iowa.
The pipeline infrastructure is specifically designed to transport CO2.
It's just all about power, control, all greedy money.
Billions and billions of dollars.
There's 90,000 miles of CO2 pipeline projected for the United States.
You better get out of the way because it's going to knock you over.
And we know that there are ruptures and we know that there are leaks.
There's a mass failure of the pipeline.
Okay, it's going to be quiet till we start getting some precincts in.
They found them in their vehicles passed out and foaming at the mouth.
So,
Iowa is ground zero for these projects.
You're doing great.
We don't want you on our land.
They never tell us the truth.
It could kill you.
The question is, whose farm will it be? And what friend will it be?
I want to say something to you as a lifelong committed environmentalist. One of the biggest boondoggles of the Biden-Harris administration is a program called Carbon Capture and Sequestration. It's advertised as a green project that will help with climate change, but it's far from green. In fact, it's dangerous, unhealthy, very expensive, and very bad for the environment. What it really does is to transfer wealth from working people to rich investors, costing taxpayers billions. This is exactly the kind of corrupt merger between government and industry that's ruining our country and destroying the middle class. It also discredits the environmental movement, which is not a good thing for anybody. Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote on this initiative, and she wants to build it nationwide.
My name's David Wiskus. I've farmed my whole life. It's satisfying to raising a crop and going through a drought or lots of rain. It's all in Mother Nature's hand. It's not me. I throw the seed out there and she takes over. And I have great respect for Mother Nature. That's a radish?
I know. It's supposed to be, they call it a watermelon radish.
My name is Jessica Wiskus, and I'm from Lisbon, Iowa. I'm the daughter of David Wiskus.
See that corn? My corn's bigger than your corn.
I received a letter in the mail notifying me that our property was in the corridor of a proposed CO2 pipeline, and I was really interested in it when I received it because I had heard about the idea of carbon sequestration. And of course, I knew that this was touted as one of the ways to battle climate change. And so I thought, wow, okay, it's coming right here in Iowa. Let's see what this is about.
The United States leads the world in corn production, much of it grown by Iowa farmers. Ethanol plants buy about half that corn, which they ferment to make ethanol fuel. The process emits carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas often blamed for warming the planet.
Summit Carbon Solutions approached us and said they were interested in building a carbon pipeline to potentially lower our carbon score and to make us a greener company.
We can capture that CO2, we can compress it, we can put it in a pipe to be able to safely store that permanently and improve the environment.
The pipeline companies plan to transport the CO2 through pipes under extremely high pressure, 2,100 pounds per square inch. At that pressure, the CO2 will have the density of a liquid, but it'll move like a gas with less friction. Thousands of miles of pipeline will be buried under farms and private properties across the Midwest. The gas in that form is very, very corrosive, and the pipelines can easily be breached and rupture.
One night I got a phone call from a local farmer to see what the hell's going on with this CO2 pipeline they're wanting to put into Shelby County. And I said, I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh, bullshit. He said, I see it's not running through your farm.
If you agree to execute an easement with us, you agree to a price, then we pay that 100% up front.
Normally a big project like this, they sit down with you and months, if not years in advance, learn about your ordinances, concerns.
Peggy Chambers with 32 votes, and more of the precincts to report. In the Wayne County consumption on the premises referendum, for legal sale, 2,305, or 56.45%. Against legal sale, 1,778, or 43.55%. Looking at the national race, and we watch AP, the Associated Press, for the results in the presidential race. And as it tallies up, at last check, Donald Trump had a large popular vote lead, as well as leads in the Electoral College. Currently, the Electoral College vote is 101 to 71 in favor of Donald Trump. The popular vote, 19,221,123, 53.7% for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris, 16,170,166, or 45.1% of the vote. Numerous states are leaning toward both candidates. The West still is, many of the polls are still open in the West. So this is not, this is far from over this evening. And we've just gotten an update, and this will be 5 precincts reporting, 5 precincts out of 14. So let's update you with those numbers before we send it back to the station. We have, for the presidency, 87.79%. For Trump-Vance, 4,200 votes. 547 votes for Harris-Walz, or 11.43%. Marsha Blackburn, 86.76% here in Wayne County, 3,997 votes to 1,100 or 11.44% for Gloria Johnson, or 527 votes. In the U.S. House of Representatives race, District 7, Mark Green will go back to the House of Representatives if this is any indication, and other that I have seen here for the state total. Mark Green will return to the House. He has 3,792 votes here in Wayne County, 86.3%, to Megan Barry's 532 votes, or 12.11%. Paige Whatley unopposed, over 99% of the vote for him. The Tennessee House of Representatives, Kip Capley with 88% of the vote, 36-16 in the actual count, to 471 for Tim Coy, and that is 11.5%. Moving over to the city commissioner races in the city of Clifton, and it looks like that's pretty much a final. 44.68% for Dwight Gator Thompson, 105 votes. Mark Ray Stagg, 71 votes, 30%, and 58 votes for Eva Ruth Warren, 24.68%. We still have that precinct to come in yet as well. In the city commissioner's race in the city of Collinwood, James Glenn Brown, 121 votes, or 40.7% of the vote. Debbie Pigg, 87 votes, 29.29%. As we told you with early voting, Cindy Kephart had a lead over Peggy Chambers for that additional position, 49 to 32, but there are others yet to come in. On the entire state level, and this was a few moments ago, Kip Capley has a lead over Tim Coy, 7,996 to 1,354. Mark Green will be returning to the House, 51,401 to Barry's 16,801. And Marsha Blackburn will be returning to the U.S. Senate. So those are the results we have at this point, with 5 precincts reporting. I am seeing others coming in. We should be coming back with further results. By the way, if you want to look at the results, see the results, these election returns on YouTube at Big Oldies Radio 100.7 Waynesboro TN, or keep it right here at 100.7 FM for all the election results. We will be back with further coverage You're listening to election coverage on Big Oldies Radio 100.7 FM.
You're clear.
Thank you, buddy. Once again from the Election Commission Office, Election Coverage 2024 right here on Big Oldies Radio 100.7 FM. And if you want to watch the election returns on YouTube at Big Oldies Radio 100.7 Waynesboro TN. We have now 7 precincts reporting out of the total of 14, so we're halfway there for the county. 5,103 votes tabulated so far, just shy of 50% of the registered voters in the county have been counted to this point. So let's get to the results. For President and Vice President, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, 88.03%, 4,470 votes. Harris Walsh, 568 votes, or 11.19%. For the United States Senate, Marsha Blackburn returning to the Senate, 4,244 votes here in Wayne County, or 86.86%, compared to Gloria Johnson with 551 votes, or 11.28%. At the state level, Marsha Blackburn has 773,355 votes to Johnson's 265,960. Marsha Blackburn will be returning to the Senate. In the U.S. House of Representatives, District 7, Mark Green has 4,039 votes here in Wayne County, 86.45%, compared to Megan Barry's 551 votes, or 11.79%. At last check, we had 51,401 for Mark Green and 16,801 for Barry. In the House of Representatives race, District 71, Kip Capley, 88.42%, or 3,849, and Tim Coy, 11.37%, or 495 votes. In the City Commissioner's race in the city of Clifton, it's Dwight Gator Thompson II, 42.67%, 131 votes. Mark Ray Staggs, 99 votes, 32.25%. And Eva Ruth Warren, 76 votes, 24.76%. In the City Commissioner's race in Collinwood, James Glenn Brown, 40.74%, 121 votes. 87 votes for Debbie Pigg, 29.29%. The write-ins, which we have only the early results, Cindy Kephart, 49, and Peggy Chambers, 32. As we get further on, we will bring you up to date on that. And in the Wayne County Consumption on the Premises referendum, for legal sale, 2,792, or 57.8%. Against legal sale, 2,038, or 42.19%. And we just got handed updated results. We now have 10 precincts of 14 reporting. 5,673 votes, 55.21% of the votes, voter turnout here in the county. Let's bring you back up to date. Not a lot of change in the president's race, of course. It is Trump-Vance, 88.03%, 4,964, in comparison to 626, or 11.10% for Harris Walsh. For the United States Senate, Marsha Blackburn, 4705, 86.76%, compared to 616, 11.36% for Gloria Johnson. In the U.S. House of Representatives District 7 race, Mark Green, 86.42%, 4,481 votes, compared to Megan Barry's 616, 11.88%. In the Senate race, Paige Wally unopposed, and 99.55%. In the Tennessee House of Representatives District 71 race, 4,283 votes for Kip Capley, 88.58%. It looks like Kip Capley will be returning to Nashville. In comparison to Tim Coy, 543 votes, 11.23%. In the race in Clifton, An update, Dwight Gator Thompson has 204 votes, 42.06%. Mark Ray Staggs, 157 votes, 32.37%. And Eva Ruth Warren, 122 votes, 25.15%. In the city of Collinwood, it is 121 votes for James Glenn Brown, 40.74%. Debbie Pigg, 87 with 29.29%. And the write-ins, as we said earlier, all we have is an early voting total. On the write-ins, Cindy Kephart had 49 votes, Peggy Chambers 32. We'll bring you up to date as we get those tabulations in our next several reports. In looking at the Wayne County consumption on the premises referendum for legal sale, 3,047 or 56.76%. Against legal sale, 2,321 or 43.24%. Those are the results that we have with that number of precincts in, and we will continue to bring you up to date. Looking at the national scene, according to the Associated Press, it is Donald Trump with 101 electoral votes, Harris with 71, and we have a number of votes in, a number of states leaning yet, 22,006,096 votes, 53.7% for Donald Trump, 18,611,091 votes for Kamala Harris, 45.2%. And what we will do here is we've just got an update, 12 of 14 precincts. So what we will do is give you a station ID. This is WWON FM in Waynesboro, and we will give you this latest result, 12 of 14 precincts reporting. 87.93% for Trump Vance ticket, 53.83 the total count. 685 for Harris Walsh, or 11.19%. Marsha Blackburn returning to the United States Senate. The Wayne County vote, 86.59%, 5,094 votes. Gloria Johnson, 676 votes, or 11.49%. The U.S. House of Representatives incumbent Mark Green will be returning to Washington. 4,857 votes here in Wayne County, 86.24%. In comparison to Megan Barry with 674 votes, or 11.97%. Going back to Nashville in the Senate is Paige Wally. He was unopposed. And Kip Capley will be returning to Nashville in District 71. 4,623, 88.34%. 598 at 11.43% for Tim Coy. In the city commissioner's race in Clifton, no change is what we reported just a moment ago. In the city commission race for Collinwood, it is James Glenn Brown, 259, Debbie Pigg, 190. 186 votes now have been cast, or 27.8% of those votes for the write-in. We will get that information to you, and we'll bring that to you in the next report. In the Wayne County consumption on the premises referendum for legal sale, 3,277 or 56.54%. Against legal sale, 2,519 or 43.46%. That's what we have up to this time. We'll be back very shortly with further results. You're listening to election coverage on Big Oldies Radio, 100.7 FM.